Hello, Daphne here with another video for you. This one is titled, What Does It Feel Like to Be Up Close and Personal with a Lion Out on the Plains of Africa? Well, my friends, I can tell you it is one of the biggest thrills I have ever had in my lifetime. To see these animals in their natural habitat is such a privilege and such a pleasure. I love lions. This is a female lion. You can tell she's a female because she has no mane. The male lion has a beautiful mane, and that's how you can distinguish the two of them. But traveling along the dusty roads out on the savannas, it's so much fun when you spot a lion. And here's one that was just out in an open field, which sort of surprising. Usually they're behind a bush or under a tree, but here this female lion was out looking right at me. Now this male lion, I had my telephoto lens on from quite a distance, but if I did not have that telephoto lens on him, he would have looked almost invisible. But I love this picture because he is looking at me, and I got my mugshot. Here is another favorite picture. Oh my goodness, how I love sharing these pictures, my favorite pictures with you of Africa, of African lions. And look at these two females peering out behind a bush, looking at us. And what is really wonderful about Africa, or parts of Africa, is that no hunting is allowed. This particular safari, we were in Botswana, and because no hunting is allowed, the animals are not fearful of the vehicles that pass by or the human beings that are in them. So that made us able to see them much closer than you would have if they had been scared of us. This is a picture of my son Christopher as a male lion is walking away at a late afternoon after it had rained. Oh my goodness, it was so wonderful to have each and every one of these encounters. It was so exciting, I can't even describe it in words. I love this picture. This is one of my favorite pictures of a female lion. Look at the character in that face. Those big green eyes. Looking into her face and into her eyes, it's almost like you can see the soul of this creature, this magnificent animal. Oh, I love this picture. My enthusiasm is always plentiful when I'm talking about safaris in Africa. Here's another favorite picture of a male lion, and he's a mighty soul. You know, the interesting thing about males is that they do not do the hunting. That is left up to the females. The females are the hunters. The males protect the pride. The area of the prides are usually about a mile square, and that's a big area to protect. But these lions, if anybody comes near their pride, especially if there are baby cubs around, they will fiercely defend their turf. Whether it's an antelope or a wildebeest or whatever, they know they're in big trouble if they encounter a lion and his pride. Now here's a nice picture of two female lions walking along with their little cub. And the little cub the little cubs we saw were absolutely precious. So this picture just is proof that we could be very, very close, and they really didn't mind us being there at all. I mean, it was magical, amazing, wonderful. I loved it. Now, the interesting thing about the female is that because she is the hunter and goes out and catches the prey and drags that wildebeest or whatever animal it is back to her pride, guess what? That big old male eats first. He gets his chompers on the catch before anybody else. Can you believe that? The female has gone to all that trouble, and he gets first dibs. Then the female, and then the little cubs. Anyway, that story tickles me. Is it always the women that are doing all the work? You don't have to answer that. Now here's another female lion. Look at those teeth. Wow, they could really chomp into some animal and they would be a goner. And her little baby cubs and her male would have a big feast on their hands. Now the next pictures are among some of my favorite of lions. They are just such magnificent creatures. I know I've said that before, but I just love looking at them. They're just so mighty, and so they're one of the toughest and strongest animals on the savannas of Africa. Here's another one of a big guy, curiously looking. I don't know what he's looking at, but isn't he beautiful? Here's another shot. Look at that huge mane. And look at those eyes are intensely staring at something. I don't know what, but who knows, he might take off in a minute. One thing that tickled us no end about lions, male lions, is that we saw them constantly lying in the field with their feet up in the air. For some reason, they love this position. And I always had fun seeing them lying there and taking pictures of them in a very relaxed state. Here's another picture. I'll have to move this up a little bit so you can see it, of me close to a lion about to put all fours up in the air. Now here is an interesting thing about lions. They get sleepy, they get their sleep during the day. So the daytime is when they take their siestas. And so often we would drive by and we'd see a whole pride of females with their little cubs lying in the shade under a big tree. And they were just amazing that they were so calm and so peaceful and looked like they were enjoying themselves resting. Oh my goodness, this is a sleepy lion with his mouth wide open, enjoying a great big yawn. This is another favorite picture. There's something sweet about this picture with this female having her paw over her face. I love the lighting in this picture too. It doesn't really give you the impression that this is a mighty animal who can kill other animals twice her size, as she provides for her pride. But here is a soft picture of a lioness. I love this picture. Here's another big yawn about to take place during the afternoon siesta. Here is another favorite picture of mine of these two male lions that approached our safari vehicle. They were just incredible. They walked all the way around our vehicle. I mean, if I had wanted to, I could have put my hand out and touched them. They were that close. That's how special it is to be out in the wilderness of the savannas of Africa and have a close-up encounter with these absolutely amazing, mighty, ferocious animals. And yet in the pictures they looked not quite as ferocious as they are if you would see them on a hunt, hunting their prey. Here are two females again, in the middle of the day, resting. This is a picture I took late in the afternoon, so the lighting is dark, but I like this picture of the male and the female together. Oh, just don't have words to describe what it's like to see these animals in person. Now, another fabulous encounter was with babies. These little cubs were so much fun to watch. They romped all around. They would swat one another. They were just having the best time, like two little kitties on the floor and the carpet of an American home. That's what they reminded me of. And they were having the very best time. Oh, anyway, I could go on and on. Here is a male lion who is unfortunately, on his last legs. As you can see from his face, he's got lots of bruises and lots of scars from his battles. But here again, even though he won't be long for this world, what a magnificent animal. And here's my last picture. This lion looks like he has a very coiffed mane. It looks like somebody just combed it. But oh, how beautiful he is, and how I loved taking these pictures. Just looking back on them again gets me to experience that whole African safari once again. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to be long, another year, and my husband and I are going back to Africa. Just cannot get enough of it. And if I only had one more trip to take in my lifetime, Africa has so captured my imagination that that would be my one last trip. So that's all for now with my pictures of lions. But just remember that the trip you don't take is the one you're going to regret.